We're less than 3 weeks from opening day, and the Blue Jays roster is already falling apart before anyone's even broken a sweat. I'm not being dramatic here. Anthony Santander needs shoulder surgery. Shane Bieber's got forearm issues. And now Toronto's scrambling to fill massive holes they weren't planning to fill. So let me walk you through what's actually happening in Dunedin right now, because this roster situation is changing by the hour. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Santander's left shoulder is getting operated on, which means he's done until at least the All-Star break, maybe longer. This is a guy they brought in to mash baseballs and protect Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in the lineup, and now he's watching from the training room. Then you've got Bieber, who everyone thought would slide right into that number 3 starter spot, except his forearm's barking at him before he's even ramped up. The Blue Jays are calling it a delay, but we all know what delayed means in spring training. It means you're not ready, and nobody knows when you will be ready. So here's where things get interesting. The catching situation? That's actually stable. Alejandro Kirk is your guy, and if he can give you 110 starts behind the plate, that's exactly what Toronto needs. Tyler Heineman backs him up, which is fine. Nothing flashy, but keep your eye on Brandon Valenzuela, because this kid can hit from both sides and plays solid defense. They grabbed him from San Diego last year for Will Wagner, and he might be the long-term answer if Kirk ever breaks down, or if they need to move money around. First base is Vladimir's world, and we're all just living in it. He started 130 games there last season, which is the sweet spot where he stays healthy and productive. Sure, Kazuma Okamoto and Ernie Clement can spell him, but don't be shocked if Toronto makes another move here. They've always kept veterans around Guerrero. Remember Brandon Belt, Justin Turner, Daniel Vogelbach, and Ty France? This front office loves that market, and with roster flexibility opening up because of Santander's injury, they might dip back in. Second base is where things get spicy. Ernie Clement just carried this team on his back through the postseason, and now he's looking at real Gold Glove potential if he locks down one position. The guy can flat out play defense. Then you've got Leo Jiménez, who's 24 years old and out of minor league options. That means he either sticks in Toronto or gets exposed to waivers, and nobody wants to lose him for nothing. With Santander out, suddenly there's room for Jiménez to actually play, which could be huge for his development. Shortstop belongs to Andrés Giménez, and honestly, watching him play defense is going to be appointment television. This dude is elite with the glove. The problem? He hit .210 with a .598 OPS last year. That's brutal. But injuries wrecked his rhythm and he never locked in. If he can bump that OPS up to even .675 while playing Gold Glove defense, you're talking about a genuinely valuable player. Toronto's going to feed him every at-bat they can because they need him to figure it out. Third base is Okamoto's proving ground. With Addison Barger sliding more into right field now, Okamoto gets the hot corner almost every day. That's a massive test for a guy adjusting to MLB pitching, a new country, and a completely different baseball culture after starring in Japan. The expectations are sky high. He's supposed to hit for power and drive in runs. Barger will still rotate through third when Okamoto spells Vladdy at first, but this is Okamoto's job to lose. George Springer is your designated hitter, though he calls himself the offensive player because apparently DH doesn't sound cool enough. Whatever. Playing DH kept Springer fresh all last season, and he rewarded Toronto with an MVP-caliber performance nobody saw coming. He'll still patrol right field on occasion because his glove work on tough catches is still legitimately good, but keeping him at DH is the smart play. You want this guy healthy and productive, not grinding himself down in the outfield. Speaking of the outfield, this is where Santander's injury really blows everything up. You've got Dalton Varsho, Nathan Lukes, Davis Schneider, and Miles Straw as locks. Addison Barger's now getting more reps in right field, which pushes Joey Loperfido and RJ Schreck into the conversation. Both those guys are going to get real looks in spring training games, and if one of them catches fire, don't be surprised if they break camp with the team. The depth chart just opened wide up. The starting rotation is a complete disaster right now. Dylan Cease is your ace, Kevin Gausman's your 2, Trey Yesavage slots in third. But then what? With Bieber's forearm acting up, Cody Ponce and Jose Barrios are suddenly your 4 and 5 starters. Eric Lauer's stretched out behind them just in case. That's not what Toronto envisioned when they built this roster. They need Bieber healthy, and they need him soon, or this rotation's going to be held together with duct tape and prayers. The bullpen's got its own question marks. Jeff Hoffman's the closer. You've got Lewis Varland, Tyler Rogers, Braden Fisher, Brendan Little, and Mason Fluharty filling out the middle innings. Eric Lauer's there too if they need length. But Yimi Garcia's health status is still up in the air, and that matters. Plus, Toronto's carrying 2 Rule 5 guys in Spencer Miles and Angel Bastardo, which means real competition in camp. Don't rule out more bullpen additions in the next week or two, because this group needs help. Here's the bottom line. The Blue Jays walked into spring training expecting Santander to mash and Bieber to eat innings. Instead, they're scrambling to fill holes and hoping their depth produces like it did last year. If guys like Barger, Loperfido, and Jiménez step up, Toronto might actually be fine. But if the depth falters and Bieber stays sidelined, this roster's going to look dramatically different by opening day. And honestly, that might not be the worst thing. Sometimes forced opportunities create unexpected stars. We saw it with Clement last postseason. Maybe we're about to see it again. The next 3 weeks are going to tell us everything we need to know about whether this Blue Jays team can actually compete or if they're about to waste another year of Vladdy's prime.